We've got the playmaker, Michael Irvin, in the house. Michael, are you surprised to hear that Diggs is already a leader for the Texans?
Not at all. Not at all. And especially with what Coach was just telling you guys when he said the energy he brings is not just great for the offense, it's great for the whole football team. He's saying we brought him in here to show our young guys how to prepare, how to get ready. And Diggs has always been like this. I got a chance to spend some time with him in Miami, and he is a leader. He wants that role. Mm-hmm. He wants that role. Now, the great thing is, this is the right place for him for right now. We know how he started in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. We know how he started in Buffalo. He had an incredible start in Buffalo. I mean, putting up 100 reception seasons every year, you know, but fell off last year. 1 to 12, weeks 1 to 12, he had 121 targets. 13, 18, only 39 targets. Key, you know how hot you would have been if that change happened on that football team when you were on that football team? 121 targets from weeks 1 to 12.
We wouldn't have got there.
It wouldn't have gotten that bad.
I wouldn't have gotten that bad.
It wouldn't have gotten that bad because that's a huge drop-off.
We're going to address that immediately.
That's a huge drop-off. And let me tell you something. One thing Norv Turner would always say to me, he would always say, Michael, because he sees me coming in his office getting ready to say, I want the ball early. He would always say to me, I'm going to use your energy for us. I don't want the energy going against us, which means I'm going to get you the ball early.
I need you to be a certain way.
That's exactly what DeMeco Ryan is doing right here. He says, I know he has energy. I want to make sure I use it for us and not against us.
Look, the surprise is, no. They specifically went out and targeted Stefon Diggs to bring him in as a veteran receiver with a young quarterback and a bunch of young players around him. He's won before. When I say win, he's won big in Minnesota. He went to the playoffs in Minnesota. He's won big in Buffalo. They've gone to the playoffs. Not necessarily Super Bowl big, but enough veteran presence in understanding what it takes to get to the playoffs, to win in those type of moments and games. A lot of people look at receivers as divas for whatever weird reason. Unlike quarterbacks, biggest divas in sports. But nobody ever says that. It's always the receivers because we depend on 11 people to help us get the football. Take us away as 10, add the offensive coordinator, that makes it 11 again. Everybody got to do their jobs. We out on the island all by ourselves. So when you see us having a conversation using our hands or whatever animated because something didn't go right, the first thing that the people on television is saying is there's an issue, there's a problem. So in our mind, Stefon Diggs is an issue and a problem. That's why the question is, are we surprised at the type of leader that he is? Well, we ain't surprised because we already know what he is and what he's all about. DeMeco Ryans is a surprise. He went out and got him for a specific reason. Right. So with that being said, I think he's in good hands. I can't wait to see him finally playing with a quarterback that he respects on a full-time level. He's going to respect C.J. Stroud because C.J. Stroud is young. He ain't going to do that to that young brother. Right. He's just not going to do it to him at all, nor that head coach.
What do I have circled there? Divas?
Go. You.
Hold on.
So I'm a bigger diva than you? Oh, my God. Joy, don't bat the eyelashes. Don't you start with me. We over here going.
Hold on. What the first thing I have written, though, is I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he is a leader for the Texans because I know that he is trying to prove something in this situation. Now, does he have anything to prove about what type of player he is or his numbers that he can put up or, you know, the type of catches that he can make, the production that he can have? No. But the way that things ended in Buffalo, there were so many questions about his character, about what kind of teammate he was.
That's what happens, though. Hey, look, you got a dude sitting right. You got a dude sitting right next to you. That's what happens. Yes. They like to put the dust out there.
That's why I wrote
sprinkle it out
divas,
there.
and that's why I also wrote emotional because we talked about players being emotional, particularly wide receivers, and I think it's unfair. You're not. Look, listen, I'm on your side.
No, but it's unbelievable.
I think that
you got a lot of Diggs in you, or Diggs got a lot of you and him.
Right.
and that may be true. I had a lot of Michael Irvin in me. That may be true.
All of us are like that, right?
But that's what. Well, one, I think a lot of superstars get these descriptors apply to them at some point or time in their career. They're emotional, they're divas, they're demanding, they're not good leaders because they want things done a certain way. But to your point, in order for you to have success, things have to be done a certain way. People have to do their jobs. Offensive coordinator has to do their job. The quarterback has to get you the ball. And when you don't perform your job, all the blame is on you. So I do understand that. But I think when it comes to Stefon Diggs, I don't like how things ended in Buffalo. There are a lot of expectations that he's going to have a really great performance this year with the Texans. There's a lot of expectations of the Texans this year that were coming off of last year. When he went there, the expectations just went up. But I think he wants to fulfill that role. I think whatever happened in Buffalo, he's trying to reset the table and show Buffalo that they were wrong, that they're going to miss him, and that he's capable of contributing to a team that is going to compete at a high level.
To be fair and present it all, did he not try to do that leaving Minnesota when he got to Buffalo?
Oh, I absolutely think he did.
But Minnesota, he left Minnesota, Paul, based on money, though.
So what happened in Buffalo is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, when you don't win, all these type of things get brought up. I don't care where you are.
Yeah, but you get tired. But you get tired of everybody blaming you when it's actually other people.
Because he's more demonstrative, he's more attitude, he's more voice opinionated than everybody.
And that's okay.
He's more emotional.
And that's
why.
okay.
So now they're gonna be looking like, well, it's not Josh Allen getting him the ball, or they're not winning, getting to the Super Bowl. This is the knucklehead over here. But all he's done is produced everywhere he go. Sometimes as athletes, y'all know this, y'all seen guys come to y'all team that was great players that just needed a fresh start.
Right.
He just needs a fresh start. That's not who he is, I'm sure, every day. He's an emotional, he wants to win, and I think he's gonna be a great influence on CJ because now he's like, look, I got a young quarterback I can influence. I don't have to deal with a quarterback who's already set in his ways, and I could be a positive influence to help him get to that next level because I truly believe that CJ can be the
head. Now, in his first 5 years in Minnesota, he had one 100 reception year in 2018. All 4 years in Buffalo, he caught over 100 receptions. So you know, this can't be about, they're not throwing me the ball. Oh, they're throwing you the football. You caught over 100.
But it was never about that with Stefon.
So it's something else. Yeah, exactly. Well, Paul wanted to know what was going on. If it's not throwing me the ball, what is it? This is something personal?
Well, they weren't winning the way that they were supposed to be winning. Every year we expect the Buffalo Bills to be in the AFC Championship game. We expect this year to be the Super Bowl year. We expect this to be Josh Allen's year. And they've fallen short of the expectations that were rightfully placed on them after the AFC Championship game. So when you're not winning, as Paul said, when you don't win, everything it gets warmer in the building. Somebody has to be blamed for it. They're not going to blame entirely on Josh Allen, although Josh Allen does turn the ball over quite a bit and can play reckless at times. Like
they ain't blame Josh Allen.
But also because you're seeing him on the sideline, he's doing the things which I don't think matters at all. But
no,
I mean, I just don't take it seriously.
Do matter, and I think last year I talked about the beginning of the end for this relationship because I talked about it on our show. When every time I saw on the sideline, when I saw Coach or Diggs looking at the quarterback saying, think, think, think. I said, why are they doing that? Stop doing that. That's embarrassing to be.
TV too.
Right, you're doing that. Everybody's seeing you, think, think, think. So now most of the world is saying, is he a dummy quarterback? What do you keep telling him? You know, and they're just telling him to make the right decision. I'd rather you go to him in his ear and say, let's just make the right decision. Because when you're doing that, see, the people that are in Josh Allen's camp, they're saying, man, why is he doing that on TV? That stuff can start problems.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up all of these receptions, and there's something else that went on. It wasn't just about all of these receptions, because you start dealing with all the people that are around you saying, why is that guy doing this? And why is that? And now it begins to be a problem in your relationship, and I think some of that happened.
And Paul just kind of touched on it, but how big of an impact will Diggs have on C.J. Stroud? Because outside of, obviously, the production that he is going to bring and has brought anywhere that he's been, he's also going to benefit the other wide receivers who had nice seasons because he's going to get the main amount of attention. So I think his presence alone is going to influence the offense in a really positive way. But how much of an impact will Diggs have on C.J. Stroud?
I think it's going to be huge. And it's not from a number standpoint. I know Michael talked about, what do you have, Mike, about 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons between the last stop in Minnesota and whatever he finished up in Buffalo. It's not going to be about that. It's just going to be about the approach. How do you approach it? How does he tutor the quarterback on the field. Not tutor him in terms of telling him how to play the position, but what he needs to do in ball placement, things like that, understanding route combinations, and I'm going to be here at a certain point. You can trust me. That helps the quarterback. Stefon Diggs might have 800 yards next year, and they may go on and win the Super Bowl. That's the type of influence that you have. See, a lot of people in our position or our sport, for instance, first thing they do is look at the numbers. Right. They want to look at the numbers. And they say, oh, he's really good because he's got 1,200 yards. He may only have 900 yards. But those 900 yards are going to be so important to the development of this young quarterback. If they make it to the Super Bowl, which I have them number 2 behind Kansas City to win the conference, if they all of a sudden get to the Super Bowl and he's on that team because they made that move to get to the Super Bowl. They didn't make the move just to go back to they went to the playoffs already. Right. They made the move to take out Kansas City. That's why they made the move.
That's his 3rd team getting to the Super Bowl.
But it's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth, though. These are the top teams in the AFC.
Texas. I like Texas.
These are the top teams in the AFC.
Texas for sure. I get it.
But here's the
I'm keeping track of how many teams you can say get to the Super Bowl.
And the Lakers going to the championship.
Well, segment Keys long list.
Diggs' impact, though, on C.J. Stroud is something to watch because it depends. Okay, if you are Diggs like to go off script sometimes and run his own routes and do things. He likes to work that out with the quarterback. With Josh Allen, that works great because I consider Josh Allen a post-snap quarterback. So if you're a post-snap quarterback, that means I'm going to make my decision after the snap of the ball. So if you want to do some different kind of routes, we can work that in. But if you're a pre-snap quarterback, then you can't be working in all of those routes because I've already decided where I'm throwing the ball. And if you do something funny or something funky, I may be throwing an interception. That's the difference right here with C.J. Stroud and with Stefon Diggs and how well they will work if he can also play post-snap like Stefon Diggs like to do and let him do those other routes.
I think the most important thing that Diggs can do coming over here from Buffalo, if I'm him, and, I've been part of teams, he has to come in the locker room and be like, look, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to take your shine. I'm here to help you. This is your team. Acknowledge it like that. Because some stars come to other teams and just be like, that's my team.
Yeah, I'm the answer. I'm the answer. I'm going to hear why you're going to get there. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So if he come in there, I think it's going to, like, he go to another team, like, oh, this is my team. You know what I'm saying?
But see, Paul, I laugh at that. I laugh at that.
You know what I'm saying is right.
I know exactly what you're saying because I was traded from the Jets to a dominant team that had a dominant defense in Tampa, and there were certain people in our locker room felt threatened that I was coming to take the team. I'm like, man, I'm here to help y'all.
And they needed help on offense.
They needed help on offense.
That's going to make everybody
I tried to explain it.
But the defense was the start.
How'd you walk in day one?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
How'd you walk in day one?
George?
Did you go acknowledge that's a great defense?
I'm just saying. That's just you got to drop your ego at the door.
But the ego was dropped. I laugh at it because the ego was dropped at the door. The problem is when you have certain people. Okay, first of all, it was a more established team that I went to.
Right.
They had some targets on the wall. They had some dots on the wall. They had gone to the NFC Championship game, but the offense was just, I don't even know what that was. They traded for me, so now all of a sudden, people on the defensive side felt threatened about all of a sudden it's getting ready to be something different. Well, it's not going to be that way. I came normal. It ain't my fault that people gravitate to me because of my personality and I'm cool.
I know,
it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault at all. I laugh at it because I understand exactly what you're saying. This is a young team.
Right.
That won't happen with Stefon Diggs, though, because they seen him rise up as a player. So they young, they looking at him when they was in high school and college.
Looking up to him.
They looking up to him, and he knows that. Where in Buffalo, you had an offensive coordinator switch, and now all of a sudden they go to Ken Dorsey, and they switch the offense on what they wanted to do. They start running the ball more. So he wanted to put, and this happens with offensive coordinators, and you know this, Michael, because you had a couple. They will try to put you in your place as a receiver. That's what they're going to do without telling you they putting you in your place. They going to, all of a sudden, them targets get a little different. Things start to change. That's what happens.
Right. You go from 121 targets to 39.
There you go.
That's huge.
Without even telling you they putting you in a position. So now that fuels that that emotion that you have. Like, what the hell are you doing? You got people out here thinking that I can't play.
Right.
You got people out here thinking I'm a cardboard cutout. And that's what Stefon Diggs was going through, Paul.
Yeah.
When you said, well, what could it be? That's what he was going through.
Yeah, but he can't let his presence be over too demanding to the other guys.
He good. He understands.
You know what I'm saying?
He understands.
That's all I'm saying, because Nico Collins,
It's good.
Bad boy.
he bad boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if he's going to target him more than Diggs, he got to be okay with it.
Yeah,
I think Diggs would be okay with it.
Good talent, but
Right.
there's one thing that I don't know if Nico and Tank and all of them have all the way, and that's that word y'all used over there, that dog. And that's what Texas said, we need a few more roofs around here, a few more dogs to
he
make
gotta be
sure
that
when we go into that game that we have the right mentality. And Stefon Diggs will give them some roof.
How did you walk into the locker room?
Well,
When he was
this is like, I had a chance to walk into Washington Wizards, but this is what happened when Kevin Garnett came to Boston. He was like, P, this is your team. I'm here to help you.
Right.
And,
Right.
You know, it just kind of made everything kind of like cool. Like, all right, we here for one goal. We here. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like, it wasn't no bumping heads.
But it wasn't going to be.
It wasn't. That was my boy already.
Yeah,
but he just
KG, it wasn't going to be that way with KG.
But for the simple fact, KG could have came in there at the time. He's still in his prime. He could be like, you know, I'm the guy. You know, we're going through me.
Right.
He still could have did that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he
and
did.
KG a great dude.
Yeah. So he was like, P, this is your
right.
team. I'm here to help us win.
Yeah,
and that's it. And it just made everything kind of.
See, if y'all would have traded for me, that's
you know what I'm
Mike,
saying.
man, come on.
Troy, I need you to extend my career. Go on in that slide and hold that thing down. I needed somebody.
So I just
extend my career.
Yeah, just ease the tension. You know,
Right.
see how it's gonna play out.
But it was just like, because like I said, like Diggs could come over there like, hey,
But
I'm back.
But
You
they
know?
would,
Right.
even if he did, though, Paul, they would respect it, though.
Yeah,
And the reason they
probably
respect
so.
it because he's the
Yeah,
vet
but they won't
dude.
follow it as much as what he's talking about. Respecting it one thing, following it is another.
No, they won't
And they
respect
won't
it, though.
follow it quite the right. Quite
And
the
I
way.
don't think he's going to approach it that way anyway, though,
No,
Joe.
I don't think so.
really
That's
don't.
why they named the team leader. That's why they did that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.